everybody, this is Blue, and today I want to talk about paper miniatures. I love paper miniatures now. I've been role playing for over 30 years now, and I've tried many different things in my role playing, and I think paper miniatures are the best way to go. There is no disadvantage to paper miniatures other than the fact that after a while you need to print off another one, but that costs what, 10 cents? So we're going to talk about price first. Some of the miniatures that are out there are quite expensive. I was reading on how some of the Warhammer miniatures are, cost $100 for a box. I'm just going for a box of like 10 miniatures. It's $100. Screw that. I'm cheap. I like to be able to, put a lot out there and not spend as much money because I believe I can use my money better. But, okay, I should say this. You do you. If you want to do the plastic resin miniatures, you want to buy the 3D printer, that's cool. You go ahead and do that. But I think that's a lot of money for the hobby, and the hobby is nice, but sometimes, it can become overwhelming in other aspects of your life. There. You can print off paper miniatures, and as you can see off my little thumb here, there are so many that you can do. Pathfinder has a lot of cool paper miniatures that you can download, and I've been downloading a lot and trying to get them all printed off. This is my box of counters that have been cut out. I still got to trim them, but they've been glued together, and I got the stands for them right there. So, it's not going to take long to get those all set up. I have over 1,000 paper miniatures here. Over 1,000. Okay? And I can fill this thing up. I should have close to 7,000 in here when I get this filled up. Then the fun part will be sorting everything out. But you can get all different sizes. So, if you're good with your printer and all that, you can change the scale. So you can take this thing, Moss Elemental, I believe, and you can turn it to whatever size you want. And so you can't do that with resin and plastic. Well, you might be able to do it if you got a 3D printer. I'm not sure. Never tried one. And you can go as large as a full sheet of paper. I love my dragons. But you can do any size. And there it is. So imagine putting, just one sec. Just trying to grab regular sized. There we go. So you have a group of adventurers, and they did something wrong. They entered a cave, then all of a sudden, that comes out. And unfortunately, in real life, that miniature for the dragon is going to be expensive. I collect dragons as just something I do. It's my hobby. And the ceramic dragons that I have, something that size cost me roughly $70. This plastic dragon that I got here, it cost me $10. I thought it was awesome and all that. But look at the space that this would require. One dragon, if I have 4 or 5 of these, it would take off one shelf section. And so that's I think the one of the biggest disadvantages to the old miniatures and all that. Well, I should say plastic, ceramic, metal miniatures, because they take up space. You have to buy special storage to move them, and also, I used to have a lot of Ralpartha and Grenadier miniatures. There were people that painted their miniatures. I never had the patience for that. But that would take a lot of time and money, and I don't have to worry about that because I could print these sheets off. What was it? My printer can print one off every 15 seconds, and so I can print off all these paper miniatures like from Pathfinder, and then I can make a whole army. Like I said here, I got a lot in here. I got dragons, giants, so many creatures. I have ice trolls and all that. I have a lot. And so I can get these out on my table for any adventure and enjoy. So what do I need to do these? Really, you only need a good printer, which they're not that expensive. Nice pair of scissors, and a glue stick. That's pretty much all you need to make them. Now, online, you can buy the stands in bulk. Right here is, if I remember right, 50. And this only cost me $8 each. And now I have over 200 stands for my paper miniatures. And so I can take them in and out of these. And then I could put the card, the miniature, back into its box, and I can put the stand on another miniature. So that gives me flexibility. And so, that is an advantage there. And you can make any type of paper miniature that you want. As you can see right here in my thumb, the very first image, those are Napoleonic paper miniatures. So you can do the thin red line, and you can do full large scale war games if you want, or you can have large groups, for your role-playing games. Some of us like to have a little bit more combat oriented, like I do. And so the ability to have a line of winged hussars, coming down upon the orcs, my gosh, that would be fun. And I can do that with paper miniatures. Can you do that real well with the plastic and all that without spending a fortune? No. Next, you can see one of the Pathfinder side downloaded, and then you can do modern weapons too. You can do science fiction. You can do anything. So this gives you the flexibility you need if you want to be a GM that wants to be able to do anything and everything. And flexibility, I think, is the most important thing, because there are times where we need to come up with something on the fly. And so let's say you're having a game and you're having some like 80s icons thrown in there, and you needed a big bad, and somebody made the comment, well, what about Munra, the ever-living from Thundercats? Okay, you can't just order that miniature, can you? And it might take a few hours to download that particular program, for your 3D printer. Then it takes time to print and all that. And so you are stuck by the limitations of availability with your plastic resin and all that miniatures. But I don't have that limitation. So, somebody wanted Mumra. There's Mumra. And I got a simple computer program where I could put a mirror image and I can create the counter right there. So there is my paper cutout. And so all I do is then print that off. I fold it in half on the black line and then I cut around it. I take my glue stick, I glue it together, and I pop it on a stand. Mumra. And there it is. Oh, come on, Mumra. Ah. Oh well, but you can see there's Mumra the Ever Living. A little bit larger because for demonstrations purposes. But Mumra the Ever Living, it took 5 minutes and I got the paper counter for it. And you can't do that with your plastic resin printers. And so I look forward to being able to create anything and everything miniature wise for my game. I even have some Doctor Who paper miniatures because I am going to be doing many different genres. I want to have a variant of Doctor Who for my personal usage, and so then I can print off Daleks and Cybermen and all that, and I can have fun adventuring on a solo adventure or with friends. And so, you know, I'm just loving this ability. And I don't think, well, I've talked a little bit about price. So, how much did Mumra cost me to print off? 10 cents. That's it. And if you were to try to get the action figure off of eBay, you know, that could cost you $30 because that's going to be a collector's item. So, there are a lot of advantages to using paper miniatures, and I said most of them. Now comes the dark part. Back in the day, they did a lot of metal miniatures, and you can still find them everywhere. Inside them is lead. Lead is poisonous. Lead can be absorbed by the skin, so if you are handling a lot of lead miniatures, please wear gloves. I had a good friend who lived in Arkansas, and he did metal miniatures. He was a Napoleonics fan. Oh gosh, he loved Napoleon. And he passed away from brain cancer. And I cannot shake the thought that maybe, just maybe, it was from all the lead miniatures that he was handling. I mean, he was outfitting the whole Grand Army of Napoleon. Thousands of miniatures, and he hand-painted each one. And so, you know, that's a lot of lead to handle. And, you know, and they have proven that lead causes cancer. So, there's some safety concerns also. So please, as I said just a few moments ago, if you have the metal lead miniatures, please wear gloves. Play it safe. So please put your comments down below, and everybody please take care and be at peace.